Hey guys, welcome to our lecture on the video. Now if you've ever been to a Kickstarter or Indiegogo page before, you will be browsing through the site and like look at something, first thing you're going to do is click on it. Now when that pops up, it'll be a video and a play button right dead in front of you. Now this is the video we're referring to. Now close to 90% of people will click that play button and watch your video. This is where you give your first impression of you, your product and your story. As you can imagine, this is a very important part of your campaign. Although this video is not compulsory, I'm telling you right now, your project will be around 85% more likely to get funded if you include one. So you'd be a clown on a stick if you weren't going to make one. In this lecture, I will go into what a video is so important for and let you in on the exact structure to make a killer video that will have your fans sharing like crazy. Alright, so how does a video help you? As I said before, this is where you tell your story. What better way to tell your story than to show it? This video is really the first impression of your product and yourself, so you have to put a lot of time into this. If you have an amazing video, chances are your project will get a lot more shares and will convert into a lot more backers, so pay attention here. Although it is tempting, you cannot just make a short film and explain your whole story from birth, and everything you and your company stand for, how you made your product, who made it for you, thank all your team members, and wish and beg your backers to love it because you need the money. No, this is actually a little bit more complicated than you think. This is one of the areas that most people struggle with. Not to worry, we'll give you everything you need to know, although you may need to outsource a professional videographer. The first thing you need to know is the best crowdfunding videos are between 2.5 to 3.5 minutes long. It is preferred if you stick to the shorter end of the scale. This may seem a little long, but when you're trying to explain who you are, show a little bit about you and what you do and everything else, this really isn't long at all. I think our video at first ended up around 6 minutes long, so we had to do a lot of rearranging and cutting. After studying over 150 videos, we came up with this structure that was common in mostly all successful crowdfunding videos. The structure goes like this. First off, we start with the initial problem you're trying to solve. What is lacking in your industry? What are you trying to fix? Behind every idea, there was first a problem. You need to make this as big of a problem as you possibly can without overdoing it. Make sure you don't go put down specific products if you had made something better than theirs. Just generalize it. Generally, the bigger target you can hit with this problem, the bigger success you'll have. Next, introduce yourself along with your solution to that problem. Show your face. This is very important with crowdfunding. People want to see who the person is behind these amazing campaigns. Sure, you get some campaigns that don't do that and are successful, but I bet they would have been a lot more successful with a bit of introduction to the company and the creator. Show them your solution. Show them how you came up with the idea. People like knowing the idea creation process. Get a known or trusted person to validate your product. Now this is where your ambassadors, or a very trusted person that people will know within your industry, will say a bit more about your product. This will validate your video significantly, and a lot more time should be spent trying to get the perfect person for this. This will make an impact. If you have to pay someone to do this, that's fine, but try find an influencer in your market who would absolutely love your project and do it for nothing. There will be one. Show some of the design process. Okay, so what this means is that you should show how you made or are going to make this game, product, charity, documentary, or whatever it is you want to produce. It is always better, of course, to have an actual product, but sometimes this is not possible due to whatever reasons, so you need to have something, even one prototype. Show the design process for that briefly, in the environment it was made in, with the team that made it. Show a clip of how the film is going to look, and maybe the cameras that are going to film it. If possible, get some 3D renders drawn up for your end result. This is expensive, but it gives your audience a great idea of what your vision is and how achievable it is in what time period. Okay, now you just want a sense of community and family. Depending on your campaign, we have found that adding in children, communities and families really resonates with backers. A lot of these people have children and are involved in communities, just like crowdfunding. So don't be afraid to chuck your family in there enjoying whatever it is you have to offer. A bit of humour. Now this can be mixed up in there. Although, recently, over both platforms, we are seeing an increase in how much more professional the videos are becoming. It seems the more professional you are, the more trusted you are, according to backers. At the end of the day, just be yourself. That is the main thing. If you consider yourself to be a funny person, then portray that in your campaign. If you're a bit more serious, don't try go be funny. It's not going to work. Now really pronounce who your target audience is and what your campaign is for. Put it in once again, how you're going to solve this problem we talked about, and who is going to benefit. It is important not to repeat yourself. Just go about this last kicker in a different way. Use different people, different wording, and maybe add in a bunch of people enjoying your product. Show all the different ways that this can be used, and the more you show, the more people will resonate with it. Now, how your backers can help you. This is important. Your backers have no idea why you're crowdfunding. You might have already made your product and you just don't have the money to get the volume discounts which will bring your product to market at a reasonable price, so tell them that. If you are halfway through your new software development and you need their help to get the rest of it funded, tell them that. And be sincere about it. If backers really believe that your product will not be available without their help, you are more likely to get more donations and a lot of sharing. So, what do you want them to do right now? Not everyone that watches your video has backed a campaign or even seen a crowdfunding project before, so they don't know what to do. Ask them to pledge to your campaign. Grab a perk or reward to help this become a reality for us. This is a proven fact that if you tell someone to do something, they are much more likely to do it. Ask them to share your project, and most people will if they like your campaign. This is a key factor that a lot of campaigns are missing nowadays, so don't miss this one out. Remember, in this day and age, everyone loves a good story. So go through these steps, making sure it is coming across as a story, bringing out your personality as well as how epic your product is. So once you've planned your video, you know what you're going to say, who's going to be in it, and have a shot list. Make sure you have a rough idea of how long the video is going to end up being. Remember, no longer than 3.5 minutes is perfect. Some campaigns do have up to 5 minutes because it's hard to cut things out. That's what you think. But I guarantee you, if you watch a few 5-minute videos, you could name at least a couple of things that definitely didn't need to be in there. Remember, you have a whole page to explain your product. So this is almost the commercial to sell your product. Then, more info below. Get them intrigued at least, and then sell them 100% on your page, and you'll be in for a winner. Once you have your video, just before the last edit, send it to anyone that you think that could critique it. This is very important, as you may think it's the best thing since sliced bread, but if someone else is watching it, they may think differently. Ask for their honest opinion. Don't look for the "it's awesome" answer, especially with your friends. Ask them for constructive criticism. Then, do a focus group when you have your page and your video ready. Now, what do you do if your video is not working during your campaign? First of all, don't stress. Once you put a video on your page, you can change it. You should have a fair idea of what maybe could be going wrong and what could be improved. Do you need to do some serious cutting to shorten it down? Some people have a very short attention span. Or, are you not explaining it clearly enough? What you do is another focus group and see if there is anything that they pick up on that could be changed. We actually changed our video twice during the campaign, and by the end of it, we ended up with a video that is exactly tailored and as good as it could be without doing a whole new one. Some of the most important points you need to get out of this is that to increase your chances of being highly successful, you need a video. Make sure throughout the process you come across in this video as yourself. Show backers that you are sincere and honest, and keep the video under 3.5 minutes. The structure is not absolutely set in stone, but it's a good structure to at least follow for the initial shooting. You can then edit to suit what you like and what you think your backers will most resonate with. In an ideal world, you should go for these main points. Problem. Solution. Who you are. Trusted person. Design process. Sense of family, community. Who is your target audience? Why are you doing this campaign? What you need the funds for? And call to action. What you want someone to do right now. This should ensure that you make the absolute killer video that you've always wanted to make and have crowdfunders thinking you've done it 100 times.